Hi there, Victor is here. In this video I'm going to draw with colored pencils. These are the colored pencils in my sketchbook. This is a Hahnemuhle sketchbook D&S 140 GSM. It is for pencil drawing and other dry media. Anyway, I tried to draw also with pen and ink, also with watercolor. The pencils I'm using are called Alpino. They are made in Spain. I hold them in this pencil case called Derwent. They stay here in these holders like this, and I sharpen them with this craft knife when they get blunt. I tried to sharpen them with a regular sharpener, but I find that sometimes for certain types of pencils, not this necessarily, the lid or the middle part of the pencil breaks. And also it's much more waste when I'm using a regular sharpener. With a craft knife like this, I sharpen only as much as I need, and I try not to sharpen the middle part, because when I'm drawing large parts, I need to use the flat side of the pencil, and I'm holding it like this, and it sharpens as long as I draw with it. Also, I'm going to use these pencils I bought recently. I tried them out in the art store, and they seem to have a more soft lid. I like how they leave the marks on the paper. Also, what I like about these colors is that the name of the color is written on every pencil, which is not the case of these Alpino pencils. These pencils are called Cretacolor. They are made in Austria. I've had other types of pencils from this brand, and they are very good. And there are 24 colors in this case. Also, I like that they are in a metallic case, and they stay in here and can be carried around when drawing on location. So I'll try them out now. This is a glossy paper. I'll try on non-slippery paper. Anyway, they draw nice also on this smooth surface. This sketchbook brings back fond memories of the times and places where I've been. It seems that the quality of the pencils in the case of colored ones is more important than in the case of other media. I'm trying not to be snobbish or be bogged down by the quality of the materials, but in the case of colored pencils, I've been often struggling with them if used the cheapest ones. Those pencils have been little pigment and are of waxy consistency. You need to press hard to see any faint coloring, and you cannot blend colors with them. So gradually I've been trying out pencils that have more pigment, are softer, and they are worth the money. You get what you pay. Generally I'm a cheap person and trying to get by with the least expensive things I'm using. Sometimes, in moments of binge shopping, I indulge myself to buy something that is nice or pretty. For the moment, I might not use it, but later, knowing how much I paid for it, I might try to make most of it and use it by any means, to not be a waste. What is cool about colored pencils is that you don't need extra equipment like brushes, water, container for holding water, paper, tissues. There is no risk of spilling water or staining accidentally. They can be used virtually anywhere. I remember carrying them with me when I was traveling. I used them in a car, on a plane. Other things that are awesome about colored pencils is that you can cross-hatch with them, building the tone and depth or color, just drawing parallel strokes in different directions. Also, the tone and the saturation can be built gradually, pressing a little amount of pressure. So it is a more controllable medium compared to watercolor, where once you put a wash of watercolor, it is harder to manipulate and control it. Another cool thing about colored pencils is a sensorial experience using them. I love the smell of freshly sharpened pencils and the sound they make on paper. Whoosh, whoosh, it's so soothing. The only downsides I find are that it takes longer to sketch with them, as large surfaces need to be drawn piece by piece to build solid color covering. Also, I find it hard to blend them, as after 2 or 3 layers the tooth of the paper fills up and the surface gets shiny and slippery, and the paper will not accept any more drawing on it. The pencil would simply glide on it, leaving hardly any mark. Drawing with dry media is more forgiving than painting with wet media, isn't it? You can build layers with pencils, gradually taking your time. But when you are using wet media, you need to rush a bit, otherwise the color dries, and if you miss the drying moment, you cannot control it anymore.
it dries as it is. You may embrace these happy accidents and incorporate in your work. The sketch I'm drawing in this video I'm doing after a picture I took on the Mill Lake a few weeks ago. It was this pretty sunset, and I liked the dramatic contrast between the dark clouds and warmth and brightness of the sunset. So it is a contrast that can be captured in a sketch with colored medium. Mill Lake is an accumulation lake on Dambovita River in Bucharest. I'm using a contrast of colors between blues, violets and yellows, oranges, reds. I'm building the tone and color gradually using either cross-hatching or blending in a circular motion. In this way the color blends on paper. Using even other color, it will blend on paper. This paper allows blending because it has a non-slippery abrasive surface, making it ideal for pencil drawing. This sketchbook is made by Hahnemuhle. Instead of using a pencil, I use this white pen, which leaves quite defined mark on paper. You need to apply a few layers of this white gel because sometimes on first instance it might not cover the surface with enough this white color, and if you repeat on the same spot it's more efficient. Also, what I noticed, you don't need to press too hard with this white pens. It should be a gentle touch on paper, and it's more efficient than to press hard compared to colored pens. This is a sketch that I made in a few days. It took me longer than a watercolor sketch. There are advantages of drawing in more sessions because you can notice what should be corrected, and if you distance from the sketch you can see it with fresh eyes and continue it noticing more details and having a more fresh approach to it. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.